Before I proceed with this video, I just want to warn you, it's going to be a Ruskin yapping video. I've noticed there's a fairly strong possibility that we might see a brand new Fridgeskin collection being accepted into Rust, and I get the feeling a lot of people might like that. And I get the feeling with the sales we saw of the first fridge, maybe it might turn into a pretty interesting investment. So, that means if you just will skip ahead to the part where we're actually showcasing the brand new fridges, the potential Scientist Fridge collection, look at the description right now, scroll down, you'll see all the chapters are there, but specifically with the part where we're going to showcase the fridges, it might be towards the very end. So if you don't care too much about the yapping, chapters are there, but if you do like the yapping, sit back and relax, and you'll hear the dulcet tones of my Ruskin yap. Let's proceed. So good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're alright, because it's time to talk about a pretty interesting collection that might lead to a pretty interesting bit of profit. Ooh. So as you can see here, that's the August Force Wipe Rust store, and that's the first 24 hours of sales. Things are looking pretty interesting. People are buying a lot of skins. So yep, it does look as if we got quite a decent turnout, and well, with a lot of people playing in August, we're also anticipating a lot of prices improving. And as you can see here in the market cap section on the SEMM, yep, it definitely looks like that is the case. And as you notice here, market cap does in fact look as if it's improving here. In fact, if I could just refresh, as you'll see over here, 201,700, you get the idea. Might take a while for that to update, so let me just go out of full screen. Take your time, why don't you? But as I said, I feel like there's something brewing. I get the feeling we might be seeing a brand new fridge collection. Now, you might recall in the past, you know, I love to stand up and announce to everybody, guys, we might have like an interesting collection on the horizon. Think of the possibilities. And, you know, the last time we did that, yeah. Those were storages, all right? And there's a very good reason why that didn't really work out. Because of the wonderful Boxes DLC Face Punch thought was a great time to release. Anyway, it's not as if I haven't talked about Fridgeskins before. I quite literally have a video showcasing every single fridge up till March 2025. The ironic thing is that after I uploaded this video, for the rest of that year, there was an extra 20 Fridgeskins accepted. The most we have seen in a single year. Thank you, Face Punch. So I just point out, you know, everything's all chaptered there, and I've had to add an extra section of all the short videos I've had to do as extras. Anyway, so what are we here for, Hedge? Let's get to the point. All right, so back over to here, you'll see that, yes, this is updated, and yes, the money's just gone up. Oh, it's improving. Things are looking pretty good, and you're probably considering a potential nice investment. But with last week's Rust store, we saw a very interesting Fridgeskin being accepted, and the second I saw it, I was like, you know what? In my predictions video, I've got to sit there and talk about that because things are looking very, very nice for it. So, conveniently, SEMM isn't updating very well at the moment. We have last week's Rust store, and if I could just scroll down, oh, what's this? Scientific Meat Fridge. Okay, a very nice looking design. We made quite a big fuss about it. Glows in the dark reasonably. It's very nice. It's very nice and neat. Perfectly 5 what it is. Not exactly a super crazy, insane looking design, but doesn't matter. Because with the possibility that we might see this turn into a fridge collection, this fridge in particular very likely could spike a price ever so nice. But what was also interesting was the fact that it wasn't selling that much. And of course, this Rust store has actually finished now, so it rotated out. This only managed to reach 8,249 subscribers in total. Now you're going to sit there and say, is that a lot? Well, if I were to just go ahead and showcase to you a certain other fridge collection we saw last year, if I were to point out the Neil Meat fridge from last year reached just over 20,600 subscribers, you're probably thinking, oh, huh. So, of course, say hello to Neon fridges from last year. That's not part of it. It's just these 4 in particular. For what you see here are part of the Neon collection. This appeared after the Neon storages, the small boxes, the lockers, you know. But yes, everything started off with the Neon Meat fridge. So last year, we see this being accepted. I'm like, okay, So we're going to get a series of fridges now? Yes, that's exactly what happened. And when we had the first one in the Rush store, quite a lot of people were very enthusiastic. A lot of people were going, oh, yeah, this is cool. This is nice. As I said, it reached over 20,000 subscribers. Now, that is quite a fair bit in terms of sales. And again, that subscriber count, you never know. Someone might have walked in and bought 1,000 of them. And he'd only count as one subscriber. So if you understand how that works. Oh. So right now you can see it's priced at $2.35. But if I could just quickly go ahead and point this out, how everything rolled out with these skins. We saw this, what was it, July? Yep, July 2025. And then a week later, oh, look, the vegetables fridge was accepted. And then a while later after that, literally just 1 week, oh, look, the pies fridge was accepted. And then after a longer wait, towards the very end of the year, we finally saw the berries fridge being accepted. And you might notice the prices of them are a bit varied, as we'll switch back over to here. Sold for $2.49 each. This right here is $2.31. This right here is almost $3. This is $2.36. And the berries fridge is $8. But so it might be a little bit too pricey and expensive for a lot of people to grab all of these. Chances are you might be a little bit more interested in a brand new fridge collection, so feel free to comment below if you're one of those people. But there's also the possibility of brand new fridges being produced as well, because again, only 4 of these were produced and accepted. So, okay, what could we potentially see instead of meat and vegetables and pies and berries? We'll talk about that in a second. But the one thing I want to get across to all of you is, even though this did over 20,000 subscribers, it still spiked the price ever so nice. But it didn't last forever. And again, I believe the main factor in regards to why it didn't last forever is because it did sell quite a lot. And the fact that we also saw about 20 fridges last year. Anyway, let's go take a look at sales history, and wow. So what I'm pointing out is that when we saw the vegetables fridge, it went up. Things are nice. Well, actually, if anything, the vegetables fridge would be here. Then it cools off after a while. Then the pie fridge appeared. And then we didn't see the berries fridge for a very long time. But yeah, when it first appears in the Rush store, and then after a week when it finally can be sold, the very next Rush store, vegetables fridge appeared. So it actually went up pretty quickly. It actually went up to almost $5 at one point. So just remember, sold quite a lot. Shot up in price very, very quickly. But unfortunately, when it ended up being incomplete, it still suffered and it went down. So yeah, $5 at one point, but unfortunately with the timing, what appears just after the summertime, the autumn fall seasonal dip. This went down, 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 down in price, and it went all the way down to just about less than $1.50 at one point. Early December, things weren't looking good, but then again, berries fridge appeared in December. Oh, look at that, it improves. And then during post-Christmas, it actually manages to go back up to its Rush store price. And then we have the Easter dip. And then recently, with the strong pre-summer push, yeah, this went back up to its Rush store price. But then we had the weird June dip, so it was a bit rough recently. But now that we're in August time, hopefully things improve and do better. So that was a big yapping session talking about the neon fridges, the neon meat fridge in particular. But hopping back over to here and specifically looking at this fridge, again, this has only sold around almost a third as much as that neon meat fridge. And again, just to confirm, 8,249 subscribers. Alright then, Hedge. Well, I'm looking at the brand new Rush store, and quite literally it was the Rush store just after this one. Where's the other fridge? I don't see it. Fair enough, I get it, I understand. But, you know, it could appear next week, the week after that, the week after that. So, let's now go ahead and point out, yes, there are other fridges that have been produced. Boom. After this was produced, immediately the vegetables fridge was produced, and then immediately next week we saw the fish fridge. This upcoming weekend, in fact, by the time you're watching this video right now, there might be another fridge posted as well, okay? As you can clearly see, the skin creator has given it a shot. They're trying for a scientific fridge collection. If we saw the neon meat fridge spike in price immediately, with the next fridge being accepted like just after it, and then it cools off a bit, then instantly goes back up again when the meat fridge appeared. What do you reckon might happen with this particular scientific meat fridge right here if we were to see this eventually? And this eventually? What do you reckon? So that's the main point I've been trying to get across to a lot of people. I reckon we potentially have a pretty interesting investment right here in front of us. And of course, with last week all finished and wrapped up, I did do the abnormal barders. And if I could just quickly go ahead and showcase my account over to here, ta-da! Not only did I buy 50 Hasmarama doors, but I was very keen about the fridges. I bought 30 of them. Now you might sit there and say, oh, only 30. I'm not really sure how many fridges people need. But I was a bit tamer with the fridges. I know there's a very good possibility that we could see some very nice things happening with this, but nothing is a guarantee, all right? It's not fun to say, but it's true. Nothing is a guarantee. That might just be a one-off. Or maybe we have to wait another month until we see the vegetables fridge, or another 3 months, you never know. Remember what happened with the neon fridges? It had to, what was it? You had to wait another 4 months until we finally got the final fridge, the berries fridge. And you never know, the skin creator might go back and do even more fridges, especially considering that a lot of people recently started asking for a fish fridge. Now, I don't know what other fridges could be made. I did make a joke about a cannibal fridge, like a human meat fridge, which is perfect for Rust, especially for the role players. They might appreciate that. And then, what the scientific diagrams and whatnot that the scientific collection has. You could have like human anatomy and whatnot on display. That'd be cool. That'd be nice. But would you agree to such a thing? What other fridges would you consider? I mean, you could just quite literally have like a drinks fridge. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. Just fill it up with water bottles. Right, so, there's a lot of possibilities. But what do people want to prioritise? What do you need? What do you crave most? Well, by default, I would assume that you would probably want to have, like, all of these fridges again. But yeah, fish fridge as well. I'm led to believe a lot of people want it. Again, when we saw the meat fridge, everybody was like, yeah, let's go for a fish fridge. And then everybody kept asking the skin creator. And they made it. So cool. So, all right, then. Let's just, quickly take a look at these other fridges. So, yep, Veggies fridge, $3 at the moment. It is in the positive. Hardly any listings. Things are looking pretty sweet here. But if we were to see a brand new scientist fridge collection being made, could these skins end up suffering? I don't think so. Like, are you aware of all the storage collections? Are you aware of the likes of the Neon Storage Collection? Let's go ahead and showcase this to you. First of all, it's the Neon Deplorable Collection now, because, again, like with all the other skins they're accepted, yeah. It originally started off as a large box set, and even though plenty of other options appeared, such as the Scientific Storage Collection, the Graffiti Storage Collection, Xenotype, the Boxes DLC, it's still the go-to thing. It's still got that prestige, so people happen to like the neon designs more so. Again, it's also super easy to read and just super straightforward with its colour scheme. People like that, okay? And you'd, in theory, assume that would also apply to the other skins we see here. Not always, but certain skins do stand out. So, cool. And again, I should also point this out as well. Scientific fridges are actually a sequel to the Scientific Storage Collection. Same skin creator, same exact design. But with these fridges, I don't think you're going to see these recover perfectly fine. These were definitely worse. They were more badly affected by the recent DLC. Although, with all due respect, I am noticing it starting to improve regardless. So, hey, give it time. I'm sure they'll do better. But again, I just wanted to only just lightly reference that. So, cool. Things are looking very promising for the Scientific Fridge Collection. And I know, we didn't get one this week, I know. But with the way things have been as of recent, a lot of the acceptances have been like mostly skins consisting not from the most recent batch of submissions, but the week before. And, well, guess what? As you'll see back over to here, the fridges we see here, they're from a week ago. So you're very likely, hopefully, going to see at least one of these potentially being accepted in the next Rust store. And again, with the possibility of another fridge appearing this weekend as well, things are starting to look pretty promising. Things are starting to look pretty interesting, all right? So we'll see how it goes. Now, again, feel free to comment below your thoughts. Feel free to comment below what fridge would you like to see. And again, if you've got a brand new idea, I'm all for it. I'd like to see it. And I certainly would hope the skin creator is also watching the video as well. Props to you, good sir. We're looking forward to it. So, all right then. Things are looking promising. Things are lining up nicely. It's August. Prices are improving. Again, as we pointed out over to here. In fact, I'll refresh again. It'll probably update again. It might go down this time. But yes, I can confirm things are improving. And what you have right here in front of you very likely could be a very interesting opportunity. Oh, it did. Wow. Oh, that's great. This. I mean, I'll just keep on going, and we'll just keep seeing that rise up higher and higher and higher. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, I love it. So yes, we very likely could see some very interesting things going on. But out of precaution, I just want to see this for myself. Oh, okay. Then you had to write it out in a certain way. Fridge neon, I guess. Would I get it that way? No. Okay, that's a shame. It is what it is. What if I typed in neon? Again, it's a bit broad term, so yeah, whatever. But yeah, Berry's fridge. Oh, hasn't exactly been doing super great, but I guess maybe people are selling with the anticipation of a brand new fridge collection on the horizon. If we do get a scientific Berry's fridge, I think a lot of people would consider that because it'd be a lot more affordable and approachable. Alright, and so we have been yapping for quite some time. Yeah, I reckon what we want to go ahead and do now is we want to go ahead and take a look at the older fridges, that being the neon fridges, get a good look at that collection, and then we'll go ahead and look at the newer fridges that are appearing. But as I said, Veggies fridge, it's been doing pretty good over the past years. Wishful thinking, Hedge, I think you need to offer more. But yeah, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, but it has been somewhat stable. And as of recent, it is steadily increasing, it is steadily improving. Over here at the Pies fridge, let's get a good look at this. Let's get a good look at you. Yep, that's been doing quite all right. It was better quite some time back. We did suffer with a bit of a dip, but as I said, we're expecting prices improving. So yeah, keep an eye out. Stay positive. But this in particular, I remember I initially dismissed it. I was like, who needs to put berries in a fridge? Laugh at me. Laugh at me. Laugh at me. I must repent from my sin, and this is why I must point out that with a brand new fridge collection on the horizon, there very likely could be a brand new berry fridge. All right, and then you can appreciate it this time, okay? I will make sure you do. I'm sorry, Neon Berry's fridge. I should have appreciated you more. But yeah, that has been steadily improving and increasing in price, and that has been doing wonderfully, all right? So, all right, cool. But you know what? I'll also present this question to you now, just before we jump in and take a look at all the fridges. Do you actually need a collection of fridges? How many people do you play with? I mean, it would be nice to have them just in case. You never know what type of scenario you might end up in. You never know where you're going to be at and whatnot. But do you really need a collection of them? Have you ever used all 4 of these in particular, for example? Or again, do you just happen to like collecting a full collection? And, let's be real here. The majority of you here are just here for potential investments and whatnot. So, are you curious in regards to what happened here? Could lead to some very interesting things with the likes of what we see here. Did you happen to buy any of these fridges in particular? Because, again, this sold for $2 on the Rust store just last week. And, again, only around 8,000 subscribers. It's only got 21 listings. Things are looking pretty promising. It's got a lot of support. Hardly any listings. Things are looking very, very, very promising. So, alright then. Let's now hop in game and get a good look at the neon fridges and the proposed scientific fridges. And here we are in game. Now, I do apologise if I sound a bit I'm dealing with a bad headache, so try my best to get through all this. So, let's descend and get a good look at the neon fridges. So, get a good look at that. We've got meat, we've got vegetables, we've got pies, we've got berries. So, I've switched all of them on. We'll give these a good look. Round the back as well, as you'll notice. Yep. It's all nice and bright on pretty much every single side. So, okay, cool. So, did you happen to pick up any of these last year? Just to happen to own them? Do you honestly need all of them? Or are you just happy that you have all of them? But yeah, perfectly fine neon design. There's actually some transparency with these as well. Not sure if it really matters that much, but yeah, I thought I should just at least point it out. Not exactly super reflective, but does that really matter? So, of course, total darkness. And as you notice, yep, these happen to stand out very nicely and very brightly at night time. Very nice and obvious colour schemes. Very easy to distinguish. I know they have the pictures as well, as you can clearly see, or rather not at night time. But I think most people are going to notice the fact that, you know, the name's there, colour scheme's there. Looks pretty good. Did you pick up any berry switches? Have you flipped any for a profit? You can brag in front of me if you want to. So, yeah, a perfectly fine collection of fridges right there. And, lights back on. Daytime. During the day, of course, you can see what the actual pictures are. Alright then, cool. So, yeah, it's been a good half a year since we last saw a neon fridge being accepted. But you never know. Perhaps this, you know, could still be more. What would you like to see being made next? I guess you could have a fish fridge. But again, what other ideas could there be for a fridge? Right then. And of course, we have potentially the new collection. Let's just move the sun around, make it a little bit brighter. Ta-da! So yes, with the scientific designs on the storage collection, like every single storage had like a very special sort of diagram, notes and whatnot, all like scientific, basically in reference to what all the individual like specific storage themes were. So in this particular instance now, with the meat fridge, you can see you got like the full pig there, and it's referencing all the different cuts and whatnot. Very nice, very cool. All the nice little sketches of all the meat and whatnot, like you would see at a butcher's and whatnot. So very cool theming, very nice. I love meat, yeah. So yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. And then of course, with what was submitted afterwards, we have the vegetables fridge. Now, I know some of you are going to sit here and say, it doesn't seem to be so, like, I don't know, colourful and bright compared to neon fridges. That's true. Again, different themes, different styles, different approaches. I'm sure some people would actually appreciate the cool diagrams and the art and whatnot. So, feel free to comment below. Which do you prefer, neon or scientific? Because at the very least, scientific might have fish. It's got a shark in it as well, you know. That's bonus points. But again, you know, like, it's got all the appropriate vitamins. Does the neon fridge have vitamins? I think, maybe. But yeah, all of them say, you know, I love fish. I love veggies. So, if there were to be a human meat one, would it be like, I love humans? Alright, we'll see, we'll see. Okay then, let's give this a good look at night time. Lights on nearby. All of them happen to be reasonably reflective. Do you see that sheen, that shine? Again, doesn't really matter that much. Not really. But I thought I'd at least point it out. Well then, let's give these a good look in total darkness. And of course, not exactly as bright. But one thing I am noticing is they do have like the slight shade of colour with the glow. So that's sort of red. That's sort of yellow. And this is sort of blue. Do you notice it? And if I could just go around on the sides, only 3 sides are lit up in comparison to Neon's 5. Yep. You have to remember how many sides there were, Hedge. Good job. But honestly, I think a lot of people still like this. Again, quite a lot of people did miss out on the neon fridges from last year. But in terms of price, they didn't really go up that high. So, just referencing back over to here, you've only got to spend maybe like $15 and you can get all of that. So again, do you prefer that style? Or do you prefer the new scientific style? Feel free to comment below. So again, by the time this video is out, chances are a brand new scientific fridge has been posted. Feel free to go ahead and take a look. If anything, maybe I'll comment below and post that myself as well. So, alright then, let's see what becomes of this. It's got an interesting approach. It's got an interesting theme that it's committed to. Perhaps this could turn into a pretty interesting investment. But again, the main question is, do you actually need a full collection of these? Or are you just seeking a specific one? What if mini fridges became skinnable? Does that mean we could get the exact same thing all over again, but, you know, small? Again, it really wouldn't surprise me if that happened with that, alright? Just going to point that out. So if you aren't fully well aware, with one of the brand new DLCs, the Bar Games DLC, there is a mini fridge skin in that. And the last time we saw a DLC with like a brand new skinnable, that being the factory one, you know, the garage door and all that, that had the auto turret. And when we first found out about that happening, eventually we found out, oh, the auto turret's going to be the brand new skinnable. Keep an eye out. We still don't know what the brand new skinnable is for September. I wouldn't be surprised if mini fridge is the brand new skinnable. So, okay. Maybe this could expand into even more interesting things. Would you want like a specific thing for mini fridges, or would you just like the same thing all over again? Have a comment below. Right, so that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed the show. And now, all we've got to do is just sit here and wait for more skins to appear in the workshop. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Catch you later. See you and goodbye. Oh. Okay, right. Looking pretty good right now.